Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock. Happy Monday to you all. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I really had a great fun last week as well as weekend. But I wanted to chat with you all today about congratulating yourself and giving yourself that pat on the back. Well guys, here's the thing. We're fleshly beings, and sometimes when we do great things, like we're really proud of something that we accomplish, but sometimes we wait on people, or we expect people to give you that pat on the back and congratulate you. And what happens is when you're relying on an individual to give you that type of compliment, you're kind of setting yourself up, because many times people will not, for different reasons. Sometimes it could be jealousy. Sometimes it just could be that that person has their own thing going on. They could be dealing with their own stress in their head that you don't know about, that they really don't, they may notice your change or your growth or whatever it is that you're doing, but you can't wait on them to celebrate you like you should celebrate yourself. You yourself will be your biggest supporter. Because we all have our different dreams and desires. We all have our different visions and our goals and all that stuff. So people are more focused on theirs. And if they're not, then it is what it is. But it's important for you to congratulate yourself, pat yourself on the back, because as we know, change is extremely difficult, especially if it's something that you've been doing all of your life or the majority of your life. So when you yourself have accomplished even a small task, I always tell people, don't look too far ahead, because that's how we get overwhelmed when we're trying to change something overnight. Start with a small process. Start with something really, really small. And before you know it, it will start to build your stamina in that area. For example, for myself, you guys know I love examples. I'm very open and honest about my lack of patience. But I will say that I'm finally getting better. I'm finally getting this patient thing down pat. But if I'm honest, it is kind of because I was forced into it, because I've been given free will for about 7 years. When I've prayed for patience, I failed every single day, the test I was given. And I think God is finally to the point, like, listen, I've given you free will. You won't, take the necessary steps. So I'm going to force you into some situations that will require you to have patience. And he did. And I won't lie and say that I wasn't crying, kicking, and screaming in the beginning of the process. But now I'm so much better. I'm still not where I need to be. But the point of the matter is, when you're trying to change or grow, it's a process. So, I think, when was it? Sometime last week, I was, a friend of mine and myself, we went to get some Jamaican food. I love me some Jamaican food, honey. And this particular place is really, really quickly about getting, the food out. But something happened, and we were in there for like 45 minutes waiting on the to-go order. And listen, it took everything in me to just stand there and close my mouth. I was fuming in the inside because, the customer service was really sucky. No one came to say, hey, we're waiting on this, or but I stood there and for about 45 minutes. And when I left out there, I had this epiphany when I got back into my truck. I was like, oh my God, Kizzy, 45 minutes. Before 10 minutes, you would have walked out the door because you don't have time to wait. And I sat there and I took that moment in, and you know what? I literally pat myself on the back. Literally, my arms are really flexible. I literally pat myself on the back, and it felt great. And so guess what? That moment, because I celebrated myself, made me realize that I have to keep at it. Small things. And each and every time I conquer that small goal, I will pat myself on the back. I'm not going to wait on anybody else to say, hey, Kizzy, oh my God, I see that your patience is getting better. No, they're not going to see it the way I see it, because they don't struggle with it the way I struggle with it. So whatever your struggle is, you may be the person to have patience packed down, but you may struggle in your flesh, with your, with lusting and fleshly desires and sexual areas. That may be your thing. So you just take the small steps, pat yourself on the back when you accomplish it. And then it will, just you celebrating that small moment will encourage you to keep pushing forward, to keep taking the next step and the next step. And before you know it, you have perfected the area that once was your weakness. You guys have a great one. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.